We've received quite a bit of interest in my free to be workshop. So to that effect, beneath this video is a link that will give you a description for the workshop. And we've also included a special discount. So if that's something you would be interested in, I would invite you to click that link, and I hope that you would find the course to be quite beneficial. Do you have hopes and aspirations to be in loving relationships? Of course you do. I do. And it's part of a normal desire for your life. We're meant to love and to be loved. And when we have that on an ongoing basis, then we can have a sense of satisfaction and purpose. Now, we're going to have to underscore here a sad truth, and that is when you're engaging with a narcissist, you're going to learn that they don't love. They don't approach that topic of love in the same way as healthy people do. Although up front, they may give you the impression that they're on board with a real good, healthy love, but time reveals something quite different. Now, let's keep in mind that when we talk about a healthy sense of love, we're talking about much more than just having wonderful, warm feelings with each other. That could actually be a part of it, but again, it's much more than that. Love encompasses an overall sense of kindness and service to one another. You want to offer goodness and exchange in ways that make life a little bit easier in that kind of way. Love implies a form of loyalty, trustworthiness. There's compassion that's a part of it. Certainly there's a tuned in, empathetic style. You're socially appropriate with one another. And love implies that there's a healthy reciprocity. I'm going to be there for you and you can be there for me. And it's not something that's obliged. It's just something that we just engage with. When narcissists think about having love exchanges, they're focused on one huge characteristic, and that is they want to be adored. They have a deep hunger to feel special, and that's their ground zero. Let's keep in mind that narcissists begin with an attitude of entitlement, and usually that attitude of entitlement comes from a place of emptiness. On one hand, it might be that they were the golden child in their early years, and everybody fawned all over them, and so they just want to maintain a perpetuation of that actually has is kind of a holding you on a pedestal kind of a mentality. Many times they're coming from a place of deficit where they felt judged or guarded and they had to keep their defenses up, and now they want to make up for some of that deficit. Healthy people want to be treated in a fond way as well. And so it's not as though all of this desire to be treated well is weird or strange or abnormal. But when narcissists engage with loving exchanges, it's an act. They're actually throwing out a sales pitch, if you can put it that way, and they're wanting you to buy their wares, so to speak. And they, like I say, want to be admired. They want to know that they're a notch above, and they want you to recognize that. They want to be in the favored position. They want to be in the one in charge. And it's as though that they're subconsciously implying, I have a script, and you're supposed to figure out what your role in my script is. And if you can do that well, we have love. Now, they want you to feel impressed toward them. They also want you to feel obliged. They'll do nice things, but then it's like, okay, what's coming back? What are you going to give me? They want you to feel beholden to them. Like, well, this person is so nice, or they do good things. I guess I'm just going to have to lay things down and go along with their program. It's like, good, you're getting the message. They want you to feel full of appreciation for them. They want you to be all in toward them. And in fact, they so want to be in first place, they don't want anybody else to even be in second place. Now, over time, you're going to begin seeing that there are exploitive elements that begin to creep in as they engage with you. They can know, for example, that you like compliments, and so they'll exploit you by giving plenty of good compliments. Oh, yeah, I like the way you do this, and you're so excellent over here. They know that you might like gifts and, things that make you know that they're thinking about you. I mean, whether it's something very simple like I'll give you chocolates, or I'm going to do you this favor, or I was at the grocery store and I picked up this thing because I knew it was something you liked. It may be that they know that you felt disappointed in other relationships. And so they're thinking, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride in on my white horse and I'm going to save the day. Then, you know what happens next? I'm going to be the ultimate special person. That's what they desire. And so that if they pick up on that in you, they can exploit that. They may know that you like to be socially stimulated, so they're thinking, good to know. They'll take you to events, or they'll join you in all sorts of engagements, or they can be, engaging in terms of getting to know your family and friends, or people that you like to hang out with and places you like to go, and they can be available for all of that. They know that you want to feel understood, and so they can have what I call a manipulative curiosity. A whole other video I'm going to do is about their dark empathy. They're actually picking up on some things about you, seeming to have an interest in what's going on from your vantage point, but they're using it for scorekeeping and for manipulation purposes. They know you want to feel like you belong, and it's like, yeah, you can be on my team. You belong on my team as long as you do my rules. And so they pick up on these kinds of things from you, and they seemingly are willing to go into that space. And yet, time reveals more sinister motives. Their love with you or for you is a projection of their own internal craving for significance. They want to feel like they're really a somebody. And as long as they can get you to come back and say, that's true, you really are somebody, then they can be happy. But over time, and you know that there are going to be some disagreements or disappointments or blunders or miscalculations that begin to show up in a relationship. And again, it could be in romance or marriage or friendships, etc., family. Over time, they begin to show a critical nature. There's kind of hey, wait a minute, what's wrong with you anyway? Like yesterday or last week or last month you were this way, but now you're not. I don't like that. And so they begin acting in more of a demanding kind of a way. They can play the victim's role. It's like, you're making my life miserable after all the nice things I do for you. And they'll kind of come back with what are you going to do for me next? Because you sure owe me now. They can become accusing and blaming. And all of this implies that they see that love relationship with you much more from a taker's position, and pretty much only that. They want favors coming back toward you. And then ultimately it can leave you feeling perplexed. Like, what did I do wrong? Or it may leave you feeling duped. Like, this isn't playing out the way they originally said it was going to. Or you may have doubt. Well, is there something wrong with me? Did I say the wrong thing? You can feel overwhelmed. You may feel self-conscious. Like, well, I feel like I'm constantly walking on eggshells. Then you can start feeling angry. It's like, yeah, this is not working out well. You can get suspicious, like, who is this person anyway? Once you begin having all those perplexed emotions and these other kinds of elements come in, you're inside their game. And of course, what you don't want is to think of the relationship as being a game. But in the long term, you're going to see that that's exactly what it is. And part of their advantage, if you will, is that you don't think of relationships as being a game. But in fact, they're trying to be in the one-up kind of position. In their love toward you, you're a function. You're a tool. Basically, they're looking to you, more or less implying it's your job to prop up my fragile ego. And then over time, and particularly when conflict comes along, and by the way, conflict is when you can tell about the depth of a person's capacity for love. It's easy to love when you have no conflict. But in conflict, there's that empathy that says, okay, this is an opportunity for us to know each other better and to understand each other. They don't think like that. When they're in conflict, then you begin getting the feeling you can be dismissed. You are expendable. Their communication is transactional. They don't really immerse in you. They want to make you feel like it, but they want you to immerse in them. They ultimately are going to let you know you're never going to be enough. You are inadequate. You don't measure up. You've been objectified. They have an idea of what you're supposed to be, and they can take some of your nice characteristics and say, wow, now there's the epitome of what it should be. But ultimately, it's just part of that fantasy that I mentioned. When you have healthy love encompasses all of the non-narcissistic characteristics, like patience and empathy and acceptance in the middle of conflict and differentness, or maybe I should say, especially in the middle of conflict. Healthy love is not about euphoria. It's not about obligation. It's not about delivering the goods. It's simply about something that's more transcendent, and it's a part of your essence of what you are. So when you understand the patterns of healthy love, and then you compare it to the patterns of narcissism, you're going to conclude these two patterns are not a match. It's like trying to shove a square peg into the proverbial round hole. It's not going to work out well. Unfortunately, you're going to have to come to terms with that, but as you do, then you're going to be able to make decisions that are going to help you move forward so that you can have your healthiness intact. Now, I do hope that videos such as this give you some things to think about and have awareness of. If you've not already done so, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button. And when the subscribe button comes, you'll see that bell, and that'll give you notifications. And in addition, we have you'll see a join button now. We have a membership that we offer, and it's very inexpensive, like $7 a month, and it allows you to have extra things of like we have weekly live feeds that we're going to have Q&A kind of sessions. I'm trying to say this correctly, and extra videos and articles. And Laura's going to do that, and I'm going to do that. And just check it out and see what we have there. If you have a need for counseling, if you have someone in your area that could help you with that, I would encourage you to get some counseling. Sometimes you have to have someone help you sift it through. If you don't have somebody in your immediate area, we have a sponsor. There's a link below that can offer online counseling. And right now that's quite popular, and we've had good feedback from people who have used our online sponsor to help them out with that. In addition, we have my very extensive course, Free to Be, and we put a lot of work into it, and it's going to require you to do a lot of work of an introspective nature. Check that out. And then, of course, we have links to our books and other kind of resources. I'm hoping that you are the kind of person that knows the essence of love and you know how to engage with it well. And when you recognize that narcissist is merely approaching you in that category with exploitive, manipulative means, I'm hoping you can say thanks, but no thanks. I'm on Team Healthy, and I'm going to engage with people who know what to do with the good things that I bring to them. And in doing so, I'm hoping that you can find contentment in separate and other kinds of ways so that you can become and stay a person of goodness, decency, and most of all, a person who understands peace.